Hey man, this is Jake. All right, so I got your image here in Lightroom. All right, so first I wanted to say I use a lot of Flash when I can. In this instance, I totally 100% would have been using Flash unless they absolutely were like no Flash. But I would have been like, yo, it's going to make your photos like 10 times better, blah, 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 blah. And if they still said, nah, I was like, okay, well, that's like, I'll, do my thing. So I'll start in a second. I just want to say, so if you did use Flash, um, I would still keep a high ISO, probably like 1500, like 1200 or so, and you could bump up that f-stop a little bit to like f2 or 2.8 or whatever, just so you don't have to worry about being in focus because it's so dark. Because I know it introduces a lot of focusing issues. Um, Shutter speed is great. I love 160. That's what I use also when I use Flash. But if you use a low flash power, you will still see all of this awesome candlelight. It's not going to look like really lame. Um, like all these lights back here, they would look super beautiful still. I just want to throw that out there. All right, let's do this. All right, so I have my own presets that I use, but I'm going to start from scratch with yours. But basically, what this does, it removes grain a little bit. Let me zoom in real quick. I can send you this preset too. So this is with, without. You can see it kind of removes like the deep texture of the grain. Try looking like right here in this. I should see if I'm actually even recording. Oh yeah, sorry. I just want to make sure my dialogue's on. All right, so look right here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. I'm only zooming in so you can see. It's not that the client's going to do it. It's just going to make the overall image look a little bit smoother. Okay, anyways, so I will throw that on and I will show you really quick what I'm doing with this preset. I enable profile corrections, and that's basically removing the vignette from the lens. I put that on all my images. My preset, it auto detects. It's not necessarily my preset; it's just having it enabled. Having it enabled will automatically detect the lens and all that. All right, sharpening. I add. Actually, I don't think I do add any. I can't remember. Either way, it's at 40. Noise reduction here is at 24, and the color I have 27 and 67. I never really adjust any of that stuff right there. Once it's up, it's up. I do have a little bit of a tone curve. Let's see what it looks like without. So what this is doing is it's decreasing the shadows a little bit, but it's also boosting the highlights. All right, now up here, my preset is doing all this for me. I have my vibrance up 10, my saturation up 10. I always drop down my highlights a little bit because I hate blown out images. And then this will all change going forward. All right, I also use a loop deck. A loop deck is like a keyboard, and it has a bunch of dials, and that's what I use. So for the most part, I'll be doing that. But I'll talk about what I'm doing. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to increase the exposure, and you can see how orange it gets. When it gets orange like that, that is definitely the white balance. The white balance that is off. So I'm going to leave it like this for a second, and then I'm going to adjust the temp white balance. Let's see, because we want something that looks whitish. Okay, now if you're using a color calibrated monitor, you would be able to see that his white jacket is now like slightly like purplish, and that is due to the tint right here. Naturally, it's at +7 for the or for whatever white balance you're using. I'm going to decrease that towards the greener tint. I'm just going to move it a few notches, see what we get. All right, so I'm at 0 right now. Let me do a before and after so you can see. Can you see that? It's really noticeable in the whites of his jacket. So this is regular tint, what it was shot at, and this is the adjusted. It is slightly green. We may change it. I want to see if the temp can go down just a tiny bit more. Probably not. Alright, I'm going to lower my exposure. On my keyboard, if I just click the button, it'll reset to 0. Alright, I just want to see where we're at from before and after. Alright, so this is where we're at. Where we were. Alright, we're a little blue. So I'm going to adjust the temp up a little bit. I normally wouldn't spend a ton of time on one image, but since, well, I would, but I wouldn't. It's because in these scenarios, when you're not using Flash, the lighting will be almost the same, kinda, like especially once they're already up there standing, the light isn't going to change, so it would just be like copy and paste across all of them. Alright, so I'm going to turn up my highlights a little bit, and then I'm going to turn up my whites and see what that looks like. Doesn't do a ton. Alright, so I'm gonna raise my shadows so they're the shadows are brighter. I'm a big fan of doing that so you get more detail. And then the blacks I'm gonna lower. Let me see where we're at. His jacket is extremely white. I'm lowering the whites right now. See that where we're at, that's where we're at now. That's what it was. Helps a little bit. Alright, so it's looking okay. This is bugging me. I'm gonna fix this horizon really quick. Okay. I want to see what it'll look like if we over here, if we adjust the hue, saturation, luminance. There's this tool right here. A lot of people don't know about it. If you click it, it gives you this little eyeball thing, and if you hold down on something and you drag up or down while holding down, it'll adjust that hue. And then same thing, if you click this, it'll adjust the saturation for only that color. So I'm just going to hold on her face really quick because it's a little red. I just want to see what happens. So I'm pulling up, and you can see here it adjusted the oranges and the red by +1 and the orange by 10. So I'm going to go back. I like that. Really, I feel like we're fine where we are, but I'm just going to kind of see what we can do. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing here with saturation. Sometimes the jackets, like white, will pick up like weird blue and magenta colors, but his isn't. That's good. It's getting a little bit of a blue. So those guys are definitely not wearing blue in those specific areas. And there's no like blue light. So I'm going to put it back at 0. And then I'm just going to lower it a tiny bit. And then let's check out her dress. Her dress is just showing orange. Orange, 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 orange. Sometimes it'll show like purple or magenta or like a blue. But it's not, so that's good. So this is what happens if we do that while it's adjusting the orange. But I don't think we need to do that. Let's see. Almost feel like we need to add a little bit of warmth. And I'm just going to disable this to see what it's doing. Yeah, having the +10 orange and the +1 red, if you, let's zoom in, that's a lot of zoom, holy crap. We'll do that. It still actually looks like a little red, but if I'm going to disable it and turn it back on. Let's see if we can do a tiny bit more. No, because it's not pulling any color other than orange. That's going to be awkward. Can try that. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to make everything else look funny though. That's our hard part. No, I think we'll just leave it. I'm gonna pull up your images that you posted really quick. I'm curious to see if you posted one of these. Oh yeah, you did. Nice. Yeah, you do like the faded film look where you do like where you do. Oops. I used to do that. I don't do it anymore. So that would be like the equivalent ish. Um, do, do. Yeah, I don't know what else I would really do. It just makes it harder because there's no flash, so you kind of just gotta like do your best kind of thing, you know. But I think I like where we're at. Who knows? I might go look at this tomorrow and be like, "What the heck did I send this guy?" I do that with my own stuff. I'll be like, "Why did I edit it like that?" Um, yeah, I think I'll just leave it like this. I think. Let's see. I'm just gonna play around a little bit. I lowered the highlights, lowering the shadow. I wonder what dehaze would look like on this. No, it's a no-go. That is a no-go. Don't use dehaze. By the way, I noticed it's getting like a little bit of like color banding. You can kind of see it right here. And right here. I noticed it on one of the... Actually, I don't know if it was your pictures that you posted. Oh, it was. It was when the guys were like dancing in front of her on the chair. Let's try adding a little bit of contrast. I like adding about 10. I'm going to try bumping up the exposure a little bit and then lowering those highlights again. I think I'm like so far off now what I had. I'm not really liking it. I'm just gonna leave it like right here. I don't know if I did this or not. No, it doesn't really help because it's like super orange for their skin and the image. Like it's kind of doing more harm than good. I'm gonna see what happens if I do the minus orange and then bump up the overall saturation of the image. I'm not really sure. Let's see. No, just leave it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's still a little orange though, but do something like that. Help out a little bit. It's a really hard image to do without the flash, because especially since there's so many. Because this is orange and yellow, the brick is orange and yellow. These are like yellow and orange, and then you have to worry about their skin too. But then also theirs, and her makeup makes her skin look like reddish, but her shoulders are orange, and he's darker and has orange skin. I wonder if you were using flash because I see the light on here, unless it was a like a light bulb or something. But I think I would do that. Let's see what happens if we do the manual or the auto white balance thing. Oh, it didn't really change much at all. We were almost on point to what they were guessing. So this is what I'm at. That's what they did. I kind of like mine better due to the -4 tint where it's like more green instead of magenta. But I wonder if we can kill some of this grain a little bit more without losing too much detail. I can't even see it really doing anything. I broke Lightroom. No, I'm just gonna lower it back down to where it was. Yeah, man, I don't really know what else I would do. But I think we're good where we're at. It does. So what's bugging me here is like her skin on just her face and his shadowy dark face, and like we could fix that by doing this. And I mean, if you really wanted to, you could, but it would. I would not do it for all the pictures. That'd be hard, like time consuming. All I did was introduce a little bit more green to her face. Maybe we can add a little bit of tint. And then his face, just right here. I'm trying to go around that white spot. And then let's try. No, it didn't work. Loosen the shadow stuff a little bit. And then we just need something to pull those blacks back together. Let's try going down just a few. Okay, let's see what that looks like. See right here. Alright, so it fixes her skin issue. And then see what it does for him. And it lightens up his face a little bit. I like that. I would totally send that. I would deliver the heck out of that. Let's see, I'm gonna export this really quick. Do my Facebook presite. It's a smaller thing, so it's easier to send over Facebook. And I will do that right now.